Okay, we're in the middle of a sugya. We saw a machloikis between Rav Yirmiyah, between Chizkiah and Rav Yochanan. Tami midame menasech, and we have machloikis Rav and Shmuel exactly what menasech is. Right? They all have in common they're a hezek she'enei nika, that the hezek is not recognizable. So Chizkiah shemei hezek. So shemei hezek, why you pata be shaygeg? He said in order to inform the person that what he's about to eat is tummy. According to Rabbi Yochanan, hezek she'enei nika lo shemei hezek. So why are you chayiv b'mezid? Because we cancel him for doing it shalei kolecha v'echad hoylech with tami tareisa shel chaverei. He wanted to suggest that the machloikis between Rabbi Yochanan and Chizkiah is in fact the machloikis between Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda. Says Rabbi Meir, "Metame medame menasech, echad shogeg v'echad mezid yichayev." Rabbi Yehuda says, "B'shogeg yipata, b'mezid yichayev." So Rabbi Yehuda, let's say, assume that Rabbi Meir would agree with Chizkiah that hesek she'enika shmei hesek, therefore yichayev both bezin and shogeg, and Rabbi Yehuda would agree with Rabbi Yochanan that since you pata b'shogeg and chayev b'mezid, it's as knas and hesek she'enika lo shmei hesek. Says the Gemara, no, the Kuli Alma. Hezek she'enika lo shmei hezek, even according to Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir, what's the svara? Why is a shoygeg pata that chayiv then? Because we cancel a shoygeg got to mezid. Just like mezid, if you go ahead and you do it, you're chayiv. So to be said, they'll let you get away with it. B'shoygeg, you get away with mezid, and Meir will be cancel shoygeg also. And Rabbi Yehuda says you're not cancel shoygeg got to mezid. Okay. Gemara asked the kasha from Hilchos Shabbos on both Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Meir. You're telling me that Rabbi Meir answers, right? Shogeg got to mezid. How come if a person cooks on Shabbos, b'shogeg he can eat it, b'mezid he cannot, right? Why should he be able to eat it b'shogeg? Why don't we cancel shogeg got to mezid? Rabbi Yehuda said shogeg he can't eat it on Shabbos. Mezid he can't eat it on Shabbos. Shogeg. You have to wait till Mitzvah Shabbos to eat it. You can't eat it on Shabbos itself. And Mezid, you can't eat it. So you see, like Rabbi Yehuda, where our guys to show you go to Mezid. So we had a stira in Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Meir. We gave it teretz, but and they both went conflicting. Rabbi Meir said where it's the Rabbanon and it's in nature, it's not so stringent, like it's b'metame v'dame or menasech, because of nasech we said it's different because it's avodah zara, but therefore, to be mechazik the Rabbanon, they said Avsil b'shogeg we can't say shogeg got to mezid. Hashem came deraisa by Hilchos Shabbos, which is so severe. There's no need to cancel the mavashal on Shabbos or to b'mezid, and therefore it's potter. Rabbi Yehuda said the opposite. Rabbi Yehuda said by deraisa you do not need a chizik, and therefore by where it's midaraisa adrabah you do need a chizik, and therefore you were on Shabbos you can't say shogeg got to mezid. Hashem came as the Rabbanon. One cancer shogeg or to mezid. We then asked a kasha from midaraisa from Natiya, and we ended up concluding that's basically okay. So let's pick up a nun daled amid aleph. You see the Taisus Hakel B'Konsu. Go down 2-3 lines below that. It says Tashma. So again, what did Rabbi Meir say? By midrabanon we're goisig shogeg or to mezid. The tame and medame, which are the rabbanon, we're goisig shogeg or to mezid. We cancel the knas. So goes that the shoygeg, the knas, let the mezid, even by the rabbanons. The Gemara now is going to question that. We're going to give you cases the rabbanon. We're going to give you cases the rabbanon where we didn't cancel, okay, and that's a question. Why by metame menasech are we cancel shoygeg got the mezid, and why by these other the rabbanon cases are not? The halacha is that the person eats. A zar but a zar is not able to eat truma. If he eats truma b'mezid, he has to pay money. He's chayiv misib deishmaim, he has to pay money. If he eats b'shogeg, he pays, but he doesn't pay money, he pays produce. He pays chulin, and that chulin automatically becomes truma. Okay? That's the traditional. So if you eat truma tahira, he would go ahead and pay chulin tahira. And we're going to go ahead and have a bit of a statement. At the end of the statement, we're going to see we're not geyser shogeg got to mezid. We're going to say midrabbanan you're not geyser, and that's going to be a kasha on Reb Meir who says by metame menasech Tame Madame, which is the Rabbanon, you are geyser. Good, that's going to be the kasha. So I gave you the kasha. Let's just fill it in. Tashma. Achol truma temeya. If a person would eat truma temeya, mishalim chulin tahirin. He pays back chulin tahirin. He pays back life chulin. Shilem chulin temeyin. What happens if he pay back chulin temeyin? He ate temeyin and he pays back chulin temeyin. Mahu. Amasumchis mishra meya. B'shoigeg tashluma of tashlumin. It is a good tashlumin. The mezid ain't tashlumin. The Gemara is going to ask why. Why isn't it? And he goes and we gave cans to him and he pays back chulin tahirin. If he pays him back, truma temeya, he's paying back chulin temeya. Fellas, listen to this. He ate truma temeya, he's paying back chulin temeya. Can you eat truma temeya? Can you eat chulin temeya? And you're saying it's not a good tashlumin? Vavinamba, the mezid amay ain't tashlum of tashlumin. Habalei bracha. This guy, he should be lauded. The achol minei midi delei chazilei. He ate something that the kohen could not eat. Truma temeya, b'mei tumasai. Become a shalim lei midi de chazilei b'mei tumasai. And he paid him back when he's tamei. He paid him back chulin temeya, which he could eat. So why is it not a tashlumin? V'yama rava v'imila kedi kasuri mechsera. The Bryce is missing words. V'hachi katani. Achal truma temeya mishalim koldahu. If you eat truma temeya, you can pay him back anything. You can pay him back chulin, whether the chulin is tar or tamei. Okay, that's the little kinech we didn't have before. If you ate truma temeya, you could pay back chulin temeya. Achal truma tahira, mishalim chulin tahirin. You have to pay chulin tahirin, and that becomes truma. Shilem chulin tameyin. What happens if you pay chulin tameyin? Mahu. So in a scenario where the kohen could have eaten the truma, you ate it, and now you're paying him back something chulin tameya, which you can only eat b'mei tumasai. Simchasama mishum remeya b'shoigeg tashlum of tashlumin. B'shoigeg, it's a good. There's the kasha right there, guys. B'shoigeg, it's a good tashlumin when we're not geyser to mezid. The mezid ain't tashlum tashlumim. There's your kasha, guys. We're going to finish the Bryce in a second, but you got the kasha right there, right? I always like to point out the question. It's the Rabbanon, and nonetheless, we're not geyser shoigeg. It's a good tashlumin to mezid. By metame umedame you are. Because you're not geyser. That the Chachamim require you to pay back and not. They may have like consul shayga. They may have Chachamim consul. So watch your kasha. At the end of this long-winded Bryce, guys, let's get the kasha. By Matame Madama Hezek Sheinanika Loishmei Hezek. Therefore, they made a kana. It really should be pata. They made a kana step by Mezid Yechayev. And then we will cancel show you got to Mezid. Over here, the Mezid, if you're going to pay back, Chulin Tameya, if you ate by Truma Tameya, right? It's going to be what? It's going to be the Mezid is no good. B'shoigeg, it's okay. But why? It's only the Rabbanan. B'shoigeg should be geyser. Shoigeg got to Mezid. As I read the Gemara. And for the Gemara, Hachi Hashta, how can you compare the two? Hasam over there by paying back. When this guy paid back, did he have anything bad in mind? Was he Isaac in anything bad? He wasn't Isaac in anything bad. He was going through the protocol. You go ahead and you pay back the kohen. He thought he was paying back the kohen what he should be paying back. B'shoigeg, he did not pay back. But since he was mechavan for the right reason, I'm not naked to say, should we go ahead therefore and give a kanas? Guys, what about mitama umedama? What's he doing? Even if he ends up doing it b'shoigeg, he wasn't being anything good. He wasn't accomplishing anything. Going ahead, you have truma, and you have truma, and you have chulin. What are you doing there? Mixing it together? You're not being anything good. mitama, you have a sheretz, you have something to me. You're going to be Isaac what and giving this. What are you doing? So Mamela, since you're in a place you shouldn't be, doing something you shouldn't do, even though you were a shaygeg in the end, but guys, the shaygeg got to maze it. Masha'en came by the tashlumin, where you ostensibly doing the right thing. I just ended up doing the wrong thing, but I'm not going to cancel shaygeg because you want to do the right thing. A clear distinction between the act of paying back versus the act of being in a place where you shouldn't be. We're good? Guys, kasha teretz, we're good? No, a little blank looks on faces. Okay, one more time. What's the kasha? Are you guys show you got to mace? It said Rameya clearly your guys show you got to mace it. Where do you see your guys show you got to mace it? You see by Mitama, Medama, Menasek. I'm keeping away from Menasek because it's because of avoid desire. Therefore, I only say Mitama Menasek. The Rabbanon in nature Hezek. Why? Because Hezek Sheni Nikolash may Hezek. The Rabbanon do it b'shoygei yichayev. Why yichayev b'shoygei? Because if you do it amazing yichayev. So you guys shoygei got to mace it. Comes along this case over here. You should be paying back chul and tyrant. You don't pay that. Right? Is you okay? Shoygei mace it. It's not a good tashlumin. Shoygei it is a good tashlumin. Why? It's the Rabbanon. And if you hold the Rabbanon, you guys are shoygei got to mace it. You should be guys here too. Says Gemara. You have to look at the whole kivon over here. When this person was paying back, did he think he was doing the right thing? Absolutely. Absolutely. He ended up giving the wrong thing, but at the time he gave it, he thought he was giving the right thing. So there is no reason, therefore, for me to be geyser shoygeg or to maze it. Masha'en Kain by Metamu Medama, what's he doing? Here I am. There's chulin, there's truma. And I thought I was mixing chulin and truma. There's no mitzvah to mix them together. Why were you doing that? And it ended up being truma, so you ended up costing. It gets a lot cheaper now. Mitama, I had no intention whatsoever of being mitama my friend's truma, his tyrus. I had no reason doing it. Oh, there's a share. Why were you there in the first place? So the act itself, which had no reason to be in the first place. If I do it b'shoygeg, I'm going to amaze it. Those are the difference between the two. We're going to have a similar Gemara, two very similar cases. Now we know, fellas, from Kachim, that blood, if blood becomes tamei, there's a way to go ahead and make the carbon marutza that the kohen can eat the basa. Remember in our Kachim, the basa for the kohen becomes mutter ba'achila when? After the zrika of the dam. Let's say the dam came tamei. Can you be zarek it? Lichatchila, I really could. Right? What is that called? It's called the tzitz being meratzeh. The tzitz, the Nezer HaKodesh, the golden tablet that the kohen wore on his forehead, that had the ability to be meratzeh. The tzitz was meratzeh. Good? So now, if you do it b'shoygeg, it's meratzeh. If you do it b'mezid, it's not. But why isn't why is it not meratzah b'shoygeg? B'mezid? Mechanically it is, and the answer is we cancel the guy. So the Gemara says if that's the case, it's the Rabbanon. The fact that the tzitz is not meratzah is the Rabbanon. The fact that if you do it b'mezid is the Rabbanon. Kasha. So why b'shoygeg is it good? Like Rameya, if you goyza shoygeg to mezid, we should be goyza by the tzitz as well. Fed the Gemara the Kasha. We go to Kachim Tashma. Dam shenitma, dam that contracted tumma, bizarku b'shoygeg hurtza. The carbon is accepted, and you could eat, and the kohen could eat the basa or the bao, whatever. B'mezid loy hurtza. Now, what's the kasha? I just spoke out the kasha. The tzitz mechanically works even b'mezid. It has the capacity to memoratza. The whole reason you can't do it is the rabbanon. So it's the rabbanon. B'mezid it doesn't work. According to Rameya b'shoygeg, it also shouldn't work. Yet it does. Kashan Rameya, Amalach Rameya, Achi Hashta. Hasam Gavra l'kipuri kamachavin. Anan nekim v'niknesei. Just like by the case of paying back the kohen, he thought he was paying back the right thing. When this kohen did this rika, what did he think? He thought the dam was good. It turned out it wasn't. But there's nothing in his actions that's screaming out, cancel this guy. He thought he's doing the right thing. He was unaware that this dam was tamei. So he went ahead and he sprinkled it. We should say that if we won't let him do this because it may come to do with b'mezid. He's doing the right thing. Hashem came with Tama Medama. Remember, you had no right being there. Nothing good become it. Same teretz. Next Gemara, same type of idea. Hilchos Shabbos, fellas. You go ahead. Can you take Meiser off on Shabbos? No. Why? Because it's like a tikkun mana. The rice of the Rabbanon. If you do it b'mezid, no good. If you do it b'shoigeg, yes, good. Filas kalim. Can you do it on Shabbos? No. If you do it, works. B'mezid, no. B'shoigeg, yes. Two questions on Rav Meir from what? From Hilchos Shabbos. Says the Gemara. Toshma. Hamatful kalim b'Shabbos. B'shoigeg yishtamish behen. B'mezid lo yishtamish behen. Why not? L'chayra, you should not be able to use it b'shoigeg. You should be going to shoigeg to mezid. Says the Hachi Hashta. Hasam Gavrila to Hurimani come.
I think he skipped a little bit. I think he skipped the mice part.
Pashma. Hamaisa b'Shabbos. Thank you. Hamaisa b'Shabbos. Someone takes Maisa on Shabbos. B'shoigeg yoichal b'mezid lo yoichal. Now, why should be able to eat b'shoigeg? Let's be going to shoigeg got to mezid. Hachi Hashta. Hasam Gavrila to Kune Kamachavin. I know Leikim Vindik to say b'shoigeg. This guy thought he was doing the right thing. He was unaware it was Shabbos, right? In other words, the motivation behind all these actions is a fine motivation. There's no reason to go ahead and be going to show you the mezid, as opposed to matama medama, no reason in the first place. Same kasha, same place. Tashma, hamatel kelim b'Shabbos, you do tefillah, b'shoyeg yishtamish b'hem, you can use them, b'mezid lo yishtamish b'hem. Let's be going to show you got the mezid. Hachihash to hasam gavel aturi mani kamachavin, and no leikim like say. Okay, that was the. So we went ahead and we took care of Rav Meir. What about Rabbi Yehuda? Rabbi Yehuda was not goiza shoigiga to mezid. He said hezek sheininika loishmei hezek. Therefore, b'mezid why am I chayiv als knas? Therefore, shoigig why am I pata? Because it's loishmei hezek, and I wasn't goiza shoigiga to mezid. The Rami, the Rabbi Yehuda, the Tanya Amid Beis. Guys, outside the idea, okay, a little background over here. We know midaraisa is echa b'shtayim is batal. 1 and 2 is batal b'roiv. Lache rab lahatais. We know that in certain halachis there are different levels of bittul. Echa b'shishim is the most common one. Truma echa b'meya. Kliyakerim and orla echa in 200. And then we know there's certain halachis where it's a dava chashuv and it's not batal at all, unless it breaks up and loses its chashivas. An example would be a birya, an ant, something that's alive. If you smash it up, it's batal, but if not, a little tiny ant, you could have 1,000 connected, it's not batal. A dava chashiv. We had a Gemara, Rimani Badon, we had different things that goes perach. We had like a set of different things that was so chashiv, they weren't batal. What happens if they get mixed up? Then they would be batal. This is a din d'Rabbanan. Let's see it in mind. Naflu. If one of these chashiv things fall into a mixture, agusei perach, rimani badan, it's not batal fil be'elef. Echad shaygeg ve'echad mezid lo yalu. Divrei Reb Meir. Whether it's a shaygeg, whether it's a mezid, it's not batal. Divrei Reb Meir, Rabbi Yehuda. These are the words of Reb Meir and Rabbi Yehuda. There's your kasha, guys. There's your kasha. Is this a din d'Rabbanan? B'shoigeg, therefore, let Rabbi Yehuda, you should not be geyser. Good. That's the kasha. Let's continue on. Notice every time I'm teaching you to learn a little bit. Every time it's if you get the kasha in the brisa that's being cited and the brisa is going on, recognize the kasha right away. Don't wait to the end, which is normally what people do. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Shimon, Oimrim, b'shoigeg yalu, b'mezid lo yalu. So no, it's that is the sheet that we would expect that Rabbi Yehuda would say. That it's b'shoigeg, you're not geyser, yet here he is. As I told you, chad b'trei batal as acher ram lahatos. Rabbanan hu de gazer. The Rabbanan made the whole gezerah of dava chashuv. The kokonis Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yehuda kansa shoigeg atu mezid Kasha to Rabbi Yehuda by Metama Madama, where he says b'shoigeg you don't cancel. Says what's the reason over there by Dava Chashiv? Time to Rabbi Yehuda mishum the asi la rume. You may come to go ahead and make a trick. What's going on over here? If it's one piece, guys, it's not batal. If it gets cracked up, naflu, it falls, and this patsu, then it becomes petza, becomes broken open. So this is like the birya. I just gave you an example. An ant is not batal. Cut the ant in half, it is batal. These things are not batal because they're chashiv when they're whole. If you break them up, they're not. Says Rabbi Yehuda, even if you break them up, it's not batal because you guys the shoy you got to mezid. Says the Gemara, you know why Rabbi Yehuda's guys over here? Because the guy may make a trick. He may say, "Oh, 1 second, it's whole. You know what? I'll go ahead and break it open, and then it won't be whole." So the guys the shoy going to mezid because to avoid it, Narumi and Rami, a person making a trick. Okay. But Rami Rabbi Yossi had Rabbi Yossi. The Gemara concludes Rabbi Yossi just said previously it's bottle. In other words, if it does b'shoigeg break open, it's bottle, right? And now we're going to ask on that. So the Rami Rabbi Yossi had Rabbi Yossi that none. Here's the case: you have an atir of arla or klei kerim. It's mixed in with other natiyos. As long as it's mechuber together and guys together, then it's not bottle. Anything that's mechuber is not bottle. If you take one off the tree, then we'll say it's all of a sudden it's bottle. So you're not allowed to take it off the tree because you mevatel isel lechatchila. So by disconnecting it, you're being mevatel isel lechatchila. Says the Gemara. Netiyah shalol v'shal klei kerem shenis arvu min netiyas acheres. They gets mixed up with other trees. You shouldn't go ahead and be malaket because if you do, you're going to be mevatel it. Then likate, and if you are mevatel it, yalu be'echad u'masayim, it's going to go ahead and be bottle in 1 and 200. That's the shear of arla. Ubavashla yiskavin lelaket. Rabbi Yossi after miskavin lelaket yalu be'echad u'masayim. Rabbi Yossi says even if you mechavin lelaket, right? Even if you do b'mezid, you chav. In other words, this is a very interesting kasha, guys. Until now, what have our kashas been? Just like your goysa mezid, you should be goysa shoygeg. And then we've been asking shoygeg, we see that shoygeg de machmer, good? Or shoygeg de mekel. Over here, the kasha is, Rabbi Yossi says, mezid, yes, shoygeg, no. Here, Rabbi Yossi is saying, afilu mezid, not. We're asking on the mezid part, guys. He's saying, afilu b'mezid, you could take it off. Says here the kasha. The kasha is not from the shoygeg, the kasha is the mezid. By the case of the crushed up egoisi perach, Rabbi Yossi said the mezid it doesn't work. It's not oila. Over here by the arla, you can even be mezid if you take it off. It does work. That's the kasha. So Rabbi Yossi right. So what has the kasha here? You see be mezid, you could do it. If you do it, we're not geyser. Says Gemara Itmar Allah Amrat Rava Chazakein Adam Oises Karma bin Tia Achas. The Chen Kiyaser Ravin Amr B'Yachin Chazakein Adam Oises as Karma bin Tia Achas. Fellas, you got a whole orchard, guys. You got an orchard that's 30 years old, produces fruit every year, and you decide you're going to go ahead on and plant new trees. Yeah. So you plant the tree over there. Your guy comes in and he trims all your trees, and now mixed into all your old trees, what? Is one orla tree. You got to be a dope. Which person's going to do that in the first place? You're not going to do that. And if you do it, you're going to mark it clearly to know what the orla tree is. Mele, you know, Rabbi Yossi says b'mezid would be okay. It's a milsad leishchichi. A milsad leishchichi for a person to put an orla tree among all the other trees. What's our rule of thumb? Milsad leishchichi. Lo yigazu b'hem rabbanan. Rabbanan menting zera. So we've held serve a beautiful, beautiful Gemara from beginning to end. Hezek shein in Leishmei Hezek. The Gemara seems to say corroborate that is Leishmei Hezek lahalacha with the Shita Rabbi Yochanan, and in even the Mishnah we went ahead and we wanted to say Rameh would hold Shmei Hezek. We said no, Leishmei Hezek. We had then kashas off that Mishnah the Rabbanan versus the Raisa. We answered every question. Beautiful Gemara. A lot of yediyas along the way in Zroyim and in Kachim and in Hilchos Shabbos. Really, they threw to you a lot of nice things. A classic Gemara that's very enjoyable to give. Hopefully, enjoyable to listen to. Hopefully understood. Okay, next mission is the din of pigel. Okay, again, pigel is Kachim 101. It's mamish the two types of pigel. There's shloi b'makam, shloi b'zman. If you have in one of the machshavas of the avodas hadam, but be it in the shchita, zrika kabbalah, shchita kabbalah, halach and zrika, puts the makom, it would be pigel, but it would not be chayiv kares if you would eat it. Puts the zman, it would be chayiv kares if you do eat it. Okay, then it's clearly it's a hezek. It's clearly it's a hezek. It's not listed in the Gemara. It's Gemara Daf Daled Daf Hey in Baba Kama 13 of us the sequence, 24 of us in the sequence. But if I remember correctly, it says that over there that Kachim like Kamairi, there's Shver Rashi there. Okay, we'll get to that. Kahanim shepaglu b'migdash meizidim chayavim. Kahanim shepaglu b'migdash meizidim chayavim. So this fits in very, very, b'meizid chayiv, and it's a hezek sheni nika. So it's very understandable why it's located over here. Tanarabanan. Haisa oisa imoy b'tyrus. You're working with Samu b'tyrus, but amalo you say, and as you're working with him, you're saying, Tyrus shasisi imcha, the tyrus that I did with you. Nitmu, they're tummy. The tyrus that I did with you, they're tummy. He was the kayin, and he's busy doing the avodah. But Amalei says, "Zvachim she'asisi imcha nispaglu." The zvachim that I did with you are pigel. I made pigel. Nemon, he's believed. You know why? Right now, because all at this point, since he was being Isaac with in this time, and he said it is, since he can do, it is. It's biyodei right now to be mafagel. It's biyodei right now to be matama. So why would he lie? Why would he lie saying that it's not, when if he simply wanted to make it tameh or misfagel, he could do it right then and there? Ellen must be that what he's believed. However, the tyrus that I did do with you, b'yoyim ploini nitmu, the tyrus that I did with you, b'yoyim ploini atameh. Uzvachim shasisi imcha b'yayim pleni, or the zvachim that I did do with you on this day, nispaglu was. Now, since he's speaking in the past, right now at this period in time, could he have been mefagel? No. Could it have been betama? No. Therefore, einay neman. Therefore, he's not believed. Maishna reisha, maishna seifu. You got inside information, guys. Rabbi, kol shebiyadai. Anytime it's in his power to do, like in the Resha, because he was busy Isaac in the tyrus or being Isaac in the pigel, in the carbon, Naaman. Okay? Therefore he's believed. Masha Enkain, once he said it happened already and he can't do it right now, he's not believed. Rav Amma, Rav is of the opinion, going the Ashchrei, the Rav is of the opinion the following, fellas. We don't say since he could do it now or since he couldn't. Even if he couldn't do it now, he'd be believed. But over here, there's an okimta why he's not believed. Here's what happened, guys. He met him on Sunday. He didn't say anything. He met him on Monday and said, you know what? The tyrus that I did with you, Erev Shabbos, the kachim that I did with Erev Shabbos is tameh. If it really was tameh, if it really was pigel, then what should he have told him? He should have told him on Sunday. Why didn't he tell him on Sunday? Because obviously it's not. He only told him on Monday. If this guy was such a tzaddik and he wanted to go ahead and make sure that he wasn't involved in being over on Isuri, the raisa of eating tumma or pigel or worse, he would have warned them right away. Why didn't he warn him right away? Because he really wasn't. And maybe he got angry at him and decided, okay, I'll mess you up and I'll tell you, you know what? That's Rabbi's svara. Rabbi Omar going the Ashachei, he found him on Sunday, and then he found him on Monday. And then he told him. So Machlokes Abaye for Rav as to the reason, not because it's biyadai, but an ukimta because he could have been dead. Ahuda amalei lechavei. The Hirish Asis Imcha b'yayim plini. The tyrus that I did with you on this day, nitmu de tamei. Asla kamei de Ravami came in front of Ravami. Amalei shayris adin einay neman. Like Abaye, the shayris adin is not neman because it's not biyadai to do it anymore. So Amal the fun of Rav Asi. So Rav Asi said in front of Rav Ami. Again, Rav Ami saying like Abaya. Rabbi, ata oimakain, hachiyam Rabbi Yochanan, mishum Rabbi Yosi. Ma eseh, what can I do? Share Torah heminasai. The Torah goes ahead what? And believes them. Right? The Torah believes them. So Pashtus, this machloikis between Rav Ami and Rav Asi is machloikis between Abaye and Rabba. Right? Rav Ami says that he's not believed like Abaye, because since it's later after the fact, he can't do it anymore. And the Torah believe, and according to the second opinion, no, we don't take into account that, right? And therefore, it could be believed. Now, where does the Torah believe a person to say something, even though what you have no one else around? So we're all aware that the Kohen Gadol does the Avodah on Yom Kippur, where no one possibly could have seen him do it, right? In the Lefnai Lefnim, in the Kodshim, there's no one there. I feel a haim shepneim even in Malachim, Yerushalmi and Peah tells us that Malachim are not out there in the Harabayas. On Rabbi Yitzchak by Bisni, Kohen Gadol be Yom Kippur Yochiach. The Kohen Gadol Yom Kippur will disprove you. The Chiyam a Pigo Mehimin, when he says I was Mafagel, the carbon is believed. Umino Yadinon, how would you know he's believed? There was no one there, no Malachim, no one. It's what? Because we believe him, right? And since so, here's a raya that if a person says after the fact, it's believed. Maybe you hear him saying pigel. I guys in Kachim, I'm quoting you a daf. I think it's either that daf or the daf after. It's either daf memo mem aleph, and it could be a trace early in Tzvachim and Dalid. That how do you know pigel? No, it's I'm a kayin. I go and get I'm shechting it, or I'm doing this week, and I'm saying you have to verbalize chutz l'makom chutz l'zman. You have to go ahead and speak it out. So since pigel only is a hechatimsa, according to at least Rashi, according to a Tosfos, you have to speak it out. So therefore, it's possible you're talking that somebody heard it. It's possible that somebody heard him. The Dilma the Shamidim Fagel, he says, if not that he's believed, Afagav the Shamina Nami Lemihimnin. Why? The Dilma Basa Hachi Kamar. Maybe he did it after the Avodah. In other words, he would only be believed b'shas the Avodah, but like stick like a buyer. But maybe he did it after the Avodah, and therefore he won't be believed. It says no Hachi Kamar. The Dilma the Chazina on the Pishpesh. There was little crevices that's possible for a person to look into. By the Beis HaChlifos, where they kept the swords, even in the Kachi Kedoshim, there was a lull that someone could have seen. So it was answering up that the guy wasn't alone totally. Since he wasn't alone totally, it has no bearing on our Shaila. And the Gemara says Kasha. Ahuda Asla Kamei the Ravami, person came from Ravami. Again, Ravami is the person that said before you're not believed. Amalei Sefer Torah Shekasafti Leploini, Sefer Torah that I wrote for so and so. Askara Shaloi Loik Kasaftem Lishman. The names of Hashem that are in there were not written Lishman. So, as he said this, it's written already. It's written already. So Amalei Sefer Torah biyad mi. Who has the Sefer Torah? So Amalei. He said biyad lekeach. It's in the hands of lekeach. So Amalei. So said Rav Ami. Neman ata lahafsit scharcha. Since you say what it's puzzle. Shavi nafshe chaticha de yisura. You went ahead and you made it. You basically messed yourself up. Biyata neman lahafsit Sefer Torah. But you're not believed to be mafsid the Sefer Torah. You know why? The Vami guys goes like the same sheet above that he's not believed because he held a sheet of Abaya. When it's biyadai to do, then you believe. When it's not biyadai, and since it's guys, it's in the handle leikeach already, it's not biyadai anymore to do, and the mele you're not believed. However, regarding your schar, you are believed. Amalei Rav Yemil nehide hifsid schar askaris schar the Sefer Torah kula mi hifsid. Good, he was what? He was mafsid that the askara is not good, but why is the whole Sefer Torah puzzle? Because in other words, l'chayra, I have a workaround. Amalei ein in Amalei in shekol Sefer Torah shein askara shlei kesuvas l'shman ein shava klum. In other words, that's why, because the Sefer Torah is worthless. It says Gemara ul'avro laya b'kolnis ul'katshe. Go ahead, take a pen, go over it. Guys, remember the Zek Keli Van Beu, we had the sugi earlier in Daf Chaf, that if you didn't write Lishma, you have an option to go over the name Lishma, writing Lishma. Kiman Nema, like Rabbi Yehuda, did nan. Hashem. You had to write the shame in the Sefer Torah. In the Skavin Lichtav Yehuda, and you're going to write Yehuda, and you left out the hey. B'toyev lehitel b'dalid. You didn't go ahead and write a dalid. You left out the dalid, and now it becomes the shame. You want to write Yehuda, and then you're writing the shame. So it's not Lishma. So what do? Marlov kol mismakadshay, Rabbi Yehuda. The Chachamim mein Hashem and Amufcha. Right. So l'chayra, late Rabbi Yehuda, you'd have an eitz over here. You're telling us that what? That once the guy says the all the askaris I made was shloi l'shma, that the Sefer Torah is lost. Let's say it's not like Rabbi Yehuda. Why? So Rabbi Yehuda says you have an option. You see that if a person wanted to write Yehuda, left out the Dalid, you can go ahead and write over it. So to take the Sefer Torah and write over all the shames of Hashem. So obviously, this brisa, this Mishnah would not be inconsistent with Rabbi Yehuda. It says, no, I feel time Rabbi Yehuda. It is consistent with Rabbi Yehuda. I'd kind of like Rabbi Yehuda by the case where you want to write Yehuda elachada askara, one askara. I would kuli Sefer Torah loy. If I go ahead and correct all Sefer Torah, that would not be kosher. It appears like a leopard. A nemer is a leopard, right? It appears spotted. So one mistake we'll accept you to write the kol over, but this one not. How are we doing? Good. The parchment, the cloth, I didn't do lishman. You know what else to do lishman? He didn't do it. Amalei Sefer Torah biyad me. Who's holding the Sefer Torah? Amalei biyad lekeach. Amalei mitoich shat nemen lahasid skarcha at nemen lahasid Sefer Torah. Okay, so this is a little different than Ravan. We said above that he told him, you're believed to go ahead and be mafsid yischar. You're believed to be mafsid yischar. Ravami told him, but you're not believed to passel. Over here, he has the migu that you mafsid the schar, you're going to be mafsid what that as well. Okay, so he said he disagrees. Say, why is it different from Ravami who said previously that the guy said that the askaris in the Sefer Torah, he said that the Sefer Torah wrote that askaris weren't good. Why did Ravami say so? The askar is not good, but the Sefer Torah is good. Why over here we say the whole thing's no good? There we can possibly say that what? You made a mistake in Rabbi Yirmiyah. You made a mistake. You know what's the mistake? That you wanted to write Yehuda, and you ended up what? You ended up writing. Rabbi Yirmiyah said that if you go ahead and you lose Rav Yirmiyah thought that initially that if you write the askaris, they're no good, but the rest of the Sefer Torah is good. So what's the difference between that case and this case? So Hasam Iklamema Toyib Rav Yirmiyah. Therefore, he made a mistake in Rav Yirmiyah and said the whole Sefer Torah is good, just the askaris are not good. But Hacha Kivin the Mafsid Kula Igre, since he loses all of his hay over here, the Asav Amar Ema Kushtaka Amar. Over here, this guy, he knows he's going to lose everything. If he loses everything, obviously he must be telling the truth. Hashenkin over there, he wasn't going to lose everything. He was just going to lose the schar of the askaris. He won't lose the schar of the rest of the Sefer Torah. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy visiting day, Avrami.